Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. Again, I did not end up taking any trades today. Hold on, let me just I did not end up taking any trades today because there's nothing clean. Okay. Coming into the morning, if we pull up my journal here, I said good morning, coming into the day with a bullish bias. Target of the day will be data highs. 8:30 open lower to discount of the entire dealing range. Swept Asia session low, London session low, went below midnight opening price and created bullish SMT with a 15-minute unfilled gap. After running lower, we got a 5-minute IFG to the upside, making a very clear draw on liquidity to data highs. Making it very clear that data high is a draw on liquidity. I don't know why I put cleared the data high. Plus data high on ES are equal highs. Okay. Waiting for a run lower at 9:30 and then entry, but might not get it. Let's see. Okay. So, boom, run lower, and then I expected data highs. Obviously, if you look at data high here, you extend it. These are equal highs on ES. So I want to run lower into this or this, and then a run back up higher. Obviously, we did not get that. Again, so now what did I just put? Markets aren't looking too great in my opinion. Price has already taken my data highs, drawn liquidity, and ES keeps displacing higher. So in order for me to have it drawn liquidity, I need two things. Okay, so as you can see, what is that ES doing? We swept, and then we are still displacing higher, meaning we're most likely going to keep being bullish, right? So in order to confirm this bullish bias on NQ, I need a displacement through this high, closing above. So if we retest the breaker and have a 5-minute gap, we had a lower time frame model, continuation model to the all-time highs, which is data highs. Or we close below this low. Why? Because now we're picking a direction, right? We don't know if this low will be protected or not. Why? Because it's SMT'd on ES. So even if we inverse back down here, I don't think it's valid because we're not delivering from anything. ES is pumping. Just because this SMT holds doesn't mean, and we inverse here, it doesn't mean we're going to go here, right? In order for any displacement, highest probability, I needed to close below, inversing this discounted bullish gap, and then tap into another high time frame gap and a continuation back to data lows, right? So I need a clean direction, right? So again, I wanted to take some longs. Why? Because I had a clear direction to data highs, but what did price do? It didn't give me that, right? Even then, after, again, as you can tell as well here, 9:30 open higher and swept a 15-minute intermediate term high. So I didn't want to take, there was a 1-minute inversion in here, but it wasn't a good inversion because it ended up hitting the 5-minute. So let me actually open the charts here. So another thing too is like 9:30 open higher, so and then created this bearish breaker. So I assumed this was going to be a protected high. So this here, there was a 1-minute inversion. It just didn't make sense to me. Although I was bullish on the day, still bullish. My drawn liquidity of data high got taken out, but also like we have discount, we had SMT at the low, 1-minute IFEG here. Not a bad trade, but it's lower probability because why? 9:30 open higher, and what did we do? We ended up closing back inside of this range, like inside of here. We swept and then closed back in the range. And if you looked at the hourly at the time, we ended up sweeping 8:30 highs, and then we were like going down in live time. So this to me maybe felt like if we sub the hourly high right here, we can come down to the hourly low. But I would need what? The bearish breaker was the first formation, but this in my opinion is the fake out, right? So a lot of people are shorting here, but again, I need displacement of the entire range for me to be actually bearish, right? For me to be bullish now, again, 9:30 is opening higher, right? It goes lower, but we form a bearish breaker. So it's like it goes hand in hand. I don't want to be bearish because higher time frame we're bullish, 8:30 open lower, and then again we're in this discount, right? So I don't want to be bearish yet, right? Because of all these bullish confluences, and I don't want to be bullish yet because 9:30 open higher formed a bearish breaker, you know. So it's like I'm giving myself a reason, and then we're coming to a discounted gap, and it's respecting. So it's like yeah, this could work, but I want to wait, right? So this is a thing where it's just like, all right, I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna continue waiting for price action to really sell me something, right? Picking one side, right? So the same reasons why I don't want to short are the same reasons why I don't want to long, but vice versa, right? So again, I don't want to long because why? 9:30 is opening higher, and then we form a bearish breaker, right? And then I don't want to short because again, higher time frame, 8:30 open lower, created this bullish SMT again, and then we're coming into this discounted gap. So again, I don't want to and then we're reacting out of it. So it's like I don't want to short for those reasons either. All right, so because again, overall higher time frame looks very bullish. So there you go. I hope this makes kind of sense. I'm trying to find reason, like when I'm trading, I'm trying to find a reason why I shouldn't take the trade, right? Again, this could be, again, I see people probably, they see the super liquidity and they're probably looking for this 1 minute IFEG here. There's people that are probably shorting this. To me, I think this is a bad trade. Why? Because ES is still displacing higher. So, and we can consolidate here. It doesn't make sense. So again, for me, in my opinion, I just don't think it's A+. I think this is probably the type of thing to engineer low resistance liquidity on its way back up and still keep going higher. So in my opinion, I just don't think this is a good trade. With that being said, what else do I want to say? So yeah, again, I'm bullish. A30 open lower. A30 open lower, putting bullish SMT. And I want to see higher from here, right? But again, what discredited my bullish bias? 930 opening higher, forming a bearish breaker, right? So in order for me to be bullish again, I need to close above 930 of display a 930 high bullish breaker, and that's what ES already did. So to catch continuations, right? But again, why don't I want to be bearish? Because of higher time frame, right? So in order for me to be bearish, I need price to really displace through this. Okay, so again, it makes pretty much sense. Breaking it down, went over a few times. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, again, if 930 here, if 930 again, I wouldn't have minded again. 930. The fact that I took out this high, it didn't matter to me, and then going lower, that's fine. Again, because overall I am bullish. And this is holding, but in order for me to be 100% sure, I would like this 5 minute to inverse. But once the 5 minute inverse, like we ended up taking my internal break even, right? So I don't want to make that an excuse to then go short again, right? Like I want it to be undeniably clear every single time, especially when data highs is right here for ES, and I just feel like this is not much sense. So again, and I wanted a long here, but again, like I said, I didn't like the bearish breaker here and the 930 opening higher. If 930 would have opened here and gone lower and then formed the bearish breaker, I wouldn't have cared because 930 is opening lower, right? So even if this is bearish breaker, this is most likely 930 manipulated lower, and then higher time frame aligns perfectly. 930 opens lower, again A30 open lower, SMT, bullish PDRs are holding. Again, we're tapping into a discounted range. 930 is opening lower. I would take this 1 minute break even here and then target the this high right here, right? Once ES takes data highs, all-time highs, I would fully close my position and call it a day. That's a very good trade, but that's not what's happening in this case. So in order for me to be bearish, I already set the alert. I need to close below this and this inversion and then a 5 minute gap in here to catch continuations lower, right? So yeah, that's what I sent out in my journal here. Two things need to happen. So yeah, again, other than that, if I do end up seeing that, I will alert my Discord again. Well, not alert, but put it in my Plutus journal, right? That's something that I just journal every single day. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna go over high. I ended up actually passing my evals yesterday because I know I said I didn't trade, but I actually ended up taking a trade in the PM. So again, you look at price, it repeats itself all the time. We're still in this range into this hourly. We swept New York session low of day, so I expected to get a reaction out of that. And once we swept low of day, we also swept data lows on ES. So I was like, all right, and we're tapping into a higher time from PD rate. So to me, that just looks super A+. In this occasion, there was this 1 minute here. It looked very clean. I didn't notice, again, now that I'm looking at it, this inversion is so small. But again, I just like these equal highs up here. So I was like, all right, if I take this long, this should be a protected low, and then we go higher. I ended up getting stopped out for 300, and I was like, damn, that sucks. So I waited. I was like, I'm not going to take this IFEG again because it inverse, and I'd rather just wait. Again, now 1250 macro ended up kicking in. And then I was like, okay, bet, like, what are we looking at here? So we had a 4 minute inversion. That's what I didn't notice, that my trade that I was in ended up tapping the 4 minute SIBI here, and then it went lower and stopped me out. So if I would have waited for the 4 minute, which I just didn't notice, 4 minute inverse, but then we had a 5 minute here. So I was like, damn, like I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna fully wait for it to be undeniably clear. So once I saw this 4 minute inverse right around here, I was like, okay, like if this PD rate holds and then we inverse this 1 minute gap right over here, if we inverse this 1 minute gap I would take long, right? So we inverse this gap. I waited for a tap back in. I went long right around here. Stop below this order block, and then I targeted the equal highs right here. Again, I didn't need that much, so I only needed like around here. So I entered 5 NQ cons. Again, I thought this was just so A plus, so I entered 5 NQ cons, and I made the 300 back plus a little bit of left that I had. So again, very A plus setup in my opinion. Very clean draw liquidity. So same thing here. As you can see, price is now giving us that displacement through, which is exactly what I want to see. Again, why wouldn't I take this trade? Is because ES is literally displacing higher, right? So in order for me to be bearish here, I need to close below this low, and then I have one-sided draw liquidity, right? So nice. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the trade recap, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.